just thought I'd do a handling video today because apparently I have nothing better to do. Well, this is my Brachypama smithy, the Mexican red knee. And besides being very hair flicky, this one is docile. And most of these are docile, but occasionally you might find your mean tarantula. Personalities vary, but before I handle a tarantula, I test the mood first to make sure that they're not going to bite. But of course, you know, tarantulas are wild animals and they could be unpredictable. So, but this one's behaving so far. But yeah, these are one of the most docile tarantulas out there. You know, like I said, aside from the hair flicking. Yes, and it did flick hairs on me. But I'm not highly allergic to these, so I'll just itch a little bit and then it'll go away. But yeah, I don't handle my tarantulas often, just on rare occasions. Because, you know, they're not huge fans of it. Well, some are more adventurous than others, and others don't care for it too much. But obviously I'm only going to hold my New World tarantulas. And I'm not even going to hold all of my New World tarantulas because many of them are still skittish and will bite. But yeah, I think this one's a boy, but hopefully I'll be able to get a good molt next time, and I'll be able to sex it in a better way, because the last molt was kind of hard to sex, so we'll see. But yeah, this one's not incredibly happy. The fangs were barely spread, but to be honest with you, I'm not afraid to be bitten by this one. I mean, yeah, it's gonna hurt, but not gonna hurt too bad. So I'm taking the risk, but he's chilling right now. He's just not used to coming out too much. Alright, well, we will move on to the next one. Hello, this is my Avicularia avicularia, the common pink toe. This is another tarantula that is typically docile, which is why I'm holding it. Usually what this one will do when it's defensive is it will shoot feces at you. So yeah, I'll take that over a bite. Also, when they get excited, they actually do leap, and so that can kind of startle you. In fact, when I first took this one out, it did leap, but being an arboreal tarantula, it easily stuck onto the side of the enclosure, so they're not as likely to get hurt in a fall like a terrestrial would be. Yeah, they could still get hurt, but not as likely. I do think this one might molt soon, actually. But this one's a sweetheart. Definitely a very good beginner tarantula. And just like I said with the Brachypama smithy, you might find your occasional mean avic, but most of them are quite docile and will let you hold them. So yeah, not sure on the sex with this one, so did not get a good molt at all with the last molt, so hopefully with this next one I'll be able to. But yeah, doing really well. A true sweetheart. See, that's like they're climbing a tree. These tarantulas like to be up high. They feel the most secure up high. And they like lots of humidity. All right. that's all on this one. This is my Brachypoma albopilosum, the Honduran curly hair. And for the most part, this tarantula is docile, but occasionally you could find your mean one. I think there's a YouTuber that I've seen who has a mean one. I forgot who it was though. But most of them are docile. So just like all the other tarantulas, I just test its mood first before I pick it up. But look how big she's gotten. And I do think this one's a female. But this tarantula will live a long time, especially if it's a female. But yeah, she's significantly grown since the first time I've gotten her. I got her from Kelly Swift when it was just a little bitty sling. And now look at this beauty. Yeah, they're not very colorful, but I like how curly their hairs are. I think that makes them look extra cute. So yeah, this one really doesn't mind coming out for a stroll. But yeah. She is sweet. Doesn't mind if I pet her, as you could see. She might actually be my most docile tea in my collection. More than my others that I've shown so far. But yeah, hopefully she will keep this the older she gets. She's the only tarantula that I have in my collection who's had a bad molt. She just had lost a leg in one of her molts, but as you can see, she rejuvenated it a long time ago. But yeah, I love holding this one because she's so sweet. Now I say it's a female, I really hope I'm right. But yeah. She's good at pooping on me as well. She hadn't done it yet, but once she starts walking around, she'll get more adventurous and then she'll start to poop on me. But yeah, she's a doll. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Well, this is my Grammostola rosea. This one is docile for the most part, but with these you have to be careful because they can be moody. One minute they're perfectly fine with you holding them, the next minute they're mean, so defensive. But this one behaves for the most part. It's maybe given me a total of 2 threat postures since I've had it, and I got this I think in the summer of 2011, so this one's really nice. Yeah, she's going through a fasting period. Might be due for a molt. She's only molted for me one time. But if your G. rosea is consistently nice, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with you holding her. But yeah, she's sweet. She looks like she's a little dusty. My birds create dust all around the room. Even gets on this tarantula. The reason why this is actually going to be the last tarantula that I feature in this video. The reason why I'm not filming the others in a handling video is because, oh look, she's webbing on me, is because they're either too defensive, they have high potency of venom, or they're too skittish, or they're too tiny. And I really don't prefer holding tiny tarantulas because they're harder to catch when they escape, you know, and then when they do escape, there's a greater fear of losing them because they get squeezed through tight crevices easier than the big ones can. So I'm not going to handle my small ones, even though some of them would likely be docile. So these are the only ones that I'm willing to hold for this video. Most of my tarantulas would be under the category of skittish. So, and I would really prefer to not hold a skittish tea. But yeah, this is my girl. The first tarantula I have. She's the one that got me into the hobby. Isn't she sweet? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for a feeding video coming up early next week. Alright, thanks. Here is my Theraphosa apophysis, the Goliath pinkfoot. Thought I'd throw a feeding video in there because I found a beetle in my G. rosea's enclosure that she denied. So, because she's still in fasting. So I'm going to see if this one's hungry. Well, as soon as I can. That would be a yes. Now my hands smell like beetle. I knew this one would be hungry because this one molted not too long ago, so. I had one person on my YouTube who thinks that this is not a Theraphosa apophysis. They think it's a Theraphosa sturmi. I disagree with that. But if several people agree with that person, then I will definitely look into it. But I'm pretty certain this is a Theraphosa apophysis. I bought it from a trustworthy seller. And the pink feet are prominent. It probably just didn't show real well in the video that person saw. So they probably just, you know, couldn't tell. But it's obvious to me, just by me looking at it this way. But like I said, on camera, maybe it's not so obvious. But I suspect this one's a boy, which annoys me because I paid pretty good amount of money for this one, and you know, I want my larger teas to live the longest, but I'm not 100% sure it's a male, just a suspect. I'll likely know with the next molt unless it's destroyed. I hope I'm wrong. But if you're allergic to urticating hairs from tarantulas, don't get this one because they have one of the worst hairs out there. Make you itch like crazy. Theraphosa and Nandu hairs tend to be really nasty. But yeah, doing just fine. Looks beautiful. Get a little light better there. Sometimes it's hard to get the lighting just right in this room. I apologize if it's not coming out real great. But just like the tea sturmi, they require a lot of humidity. I've never given this one a beetle before, but as you can see, it took to it without any problems. Alright guys, this concludes my video. Thanks for watching.